Hi, you're listening to Engagement Drivers, presented by EveryoneSocial. Each week, we'll share actionable tips, strategies, and success stories that you and your teams can use to steer your brand, social, and employee engagement in the right direction.
Hi there, my name is Bobby Olson, and I'm the Associate Copywriter here at EveryoneSocial. Today, I'll be sharing a little bit of advice on how to budget for an employee advocacy platform. So, as your company begins exploring advocacy programs, one query that's likely to come up in early discussions is what does this cost and how do we justify the expense, which are fair points to raise when your company may already have a sizable tech stack. Besides that, the concept of employee advocacy might be new to you or your managers or even company executives, and as we're all aware, introducing new software or product costs can often be met with resistance, especially when it serves an unfamiliar purpose. So, determining what kind of program to use or what budget you'll need to secure depends on your needs, your wants, as well as how much you value social media and employee engagement in the workplace. This podcast aims to help you think through some of the variables that will determine what's best for you. So together, we're going to explore what we've seen some of our other customers do and how their actions could apply to your company. So, employee advocacy programs don't necessarily need to be expensive in order to drive results. But that being said, if you want real, long-term success, you also shouldn't be searching for a quick and cheap solution. Many times, when you cut corners or try to save a few bucks on software, you'll find limited feature sets, a lack of ongoing support or training, and results that are seriously underwhelming, leading you to think that perhaps employee advocacy doesn't work that well after all. That's why choosing the right vendor and partner is critical for the overall success of your program. Ensuring that you're set up correctly from the beginning with the right product and support team saves you both time and money. So generally speaking, for the risk-averse, starting small or trialing a product could be a good way to test something that you're unsure about. However, we have come across some customers who have left those types of situations because they didn't provide what they needed to be truly successful. While it might sound like a shameless pitch, the reality is that employee advocacy benefits from scale. So go big if you want big results, and if you want immediate results, start now. That doesn't necessarily mean you should be paying an insane premium, by the way. There's no need to even begin with a company-wide rollout if you're not ready for that yet. If you're researching employee advocacy vendors, you'll find that while most major platforms share a few basic functions, they're often unique in their own right when it comes to specific product features, platform design, support, integrations, and of course cost. Clearly, I'm biased when I say that EveryoneSocial is one of the strongest products in the employee advocacy market, so you should always do your own research. But you can take a look at our glowing GT reviews if you want to read more about us from our own customers. Reach out to a few vendors, demo their product, ask questions, get pricing info, and so on. Every person and company has different needs, different wants, and differing personal preferences when it comes to products. But how is employee advocacy actually priced? Well, that depends on the vendor, but typically it's calculated based on the number of active users, the features and support available, the amount of content shares, small business or enterprise needs, and then sometimes there's variable discounts depending on deal length, if you're a nonprofit, if it's for an agency, and so on. Some vendors focus on just one or two of those, others might use a combination or something different altogether when it comes to how they price things. We keep things pretty simple here at EveryoneSocial, but we do offer discounts for certain criteria, and no matter the size of the enterprise program, you always have access to every feature, every integration, and of course our support. So, at this point in your evaluation phase, you likely know the impact that an internal social program can have on your organization, whether it be in marketing or sales, social recruiting, employer branding, or employee communications. However, you may be focused on one specific need, or maybe you're looking to go enterprise-wide, and either option is a fine starting place. Many organizations are making employee advocacy platforms available to their entire workforces to help keep employees informed, creating original content, and sharing regardless of where they work, which is especially important in today's dispersed workforce. Whichever direction you go, I have some tips to help you budget intelligently for an employee advocacy program. As a side note, naturally, your department or team may already have a budget set aside for tools like this, so you may only need to prioritize spending and make a vendor selection. However, these tips can still help you get the most out of your funding, or make a case if you don't currently have a budget for additional software or tools. So the first tip is to prove ROI. Indeed, ROI is so important that proving it not only helps get approval from executives, but sometimes they even give special budgets for these programs. Now you may be saying to yourself, yeah, I wish, when it comes to securing a dedicated budget. And let's be honest here, getting one right off the bat is uncommon. Most executives are looking to be extremely efficient with their budgets while driving the most ROI. That's why it's important to build your case. Show the data and apply that data to your own organization's specific situation. Use the employee advocacy stats that we've gathered over the years. Crunch some numbers. Use vendor case studies. Even talk to other people in your networks who are already using employee advocacy programs. While a specialty budget is not necessarily required to launch an advocacy program, it's always a good place to start, and the worst they can say is no. Just remember, begin the discussion with ROI metrics gleaned from case studies and your own internal research or financial models. Secondly, you can reallocate some of your existing budget. Depending on what department you're in, the budget will be closely monitored and distributed among particular tools or strategies. If you see employee advocacy as a priority, then it's time to look at the results for where you're spending your money already. Are there areas where results have continued to decline over time? Are certain costs going up while the results remain stagnant? Are there budgets in your organization that continually forfeit unused funds that could be put to use for an employee advocacy platform? What are other areas we can reduce costs to make room for one? For example, paid advertising continues to get more expensive, and people are tuning it out more too. One 2020 survey by Statista showed that the average global social ad CTRs decreased by 30% year over year. Instead of ramping up marketing spend on ads, maybe take that budget increase and shift it towards your advocacy platform. The same thought process can be applied to job boards and paying to list your new open positions. Instead, put that towards employee advocacy, where your employees can reach top talent through their own network of thousands, build up a great work culture and employer brand, and help your recruiters expand the job pool. Essentially, just search for spending that hasn't yielded great results and reallocate it to your employee advocacy initiative instead. This is one of the best ways to find some room in your budget. You can also partner with other departments. If some of the other budgeting techniques that you've tried don't work, you'll have to try to getting a bit more creative. Since employee advocacy programs can benefit from engaging more than one department, you have a lot of options when it comes to partnering with other departments and sharing the platform costs. And as a bonus, while enabling you to split costs, you also get to see multiple points of ROI. For example, marketing and sales could work together for this initiative, or marketing and HR, as it helps in boosting social recruiting efforts and building an employer brand. Talk to other departments about their needs and interests, then find ways you can co-own and split the budget. You'd be surprised at how effective this option is. A few customers who use our platform for multiple solutions or who are enterprise-wide have divided the employee advocacy budget evenly between them. This ultimately saved each department money, but still granted them access to everything they needed to deliver results. My final thoughts are these. You can easily prove why the budget should be allocated to employee advocacy. Your managers and company executives simply want to know what value and ROI you'll get from investing in a strategy and a program. While employee advocacy has so many clear benefits, it's still a new and growing concept that many are just now gaining exposure to. So, it's unsurprising that the budget conversation could be challenging or uncomfortable at first. Use the tips I discussed and be over-prepared if you want to make your case to any stakeholders for approval. We have tons of resources, customer stories, and insights on our website, which by the way is EveryoneSocial.com, that can help you along the way. And of course, we're also happy to talk to you one-on-one if you need help articulating a case for employee advocacy budget in your company. On the other hand, if you're still investigating employee advocacy platforms, schedule a demo with our sales team. We work with amazing companies like Dell, Adobe, Qualtrics, IBM, ADP, and many others. So that's really all I have for you folks. Thanks for listening.
Want to know how EveryoneSocial can provide you with the tools needed to keep everyone at your company connected, informed, creating, and sharing? Visit EveryoneSocial.com to learn more.